Orange have lost 2 straight for the first time this season. Our opening tip controlled by the road team. Syracuse, white with a pink trim. Boston College, all pink uniforms. And our play for K matchup. Starting 5 for the Orange. The first start of the season for Sanaya Wilson. She's been battling a foot injury. Inserted into the starting 5 for the first time. And BC has its first possession. Expecting to see a lot of the matchup zone for the Orange as you take a look at the starting 5 for the Eagles. Ivy, one of the best in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio. Todd and Sidbury trying to anchoring that front court against a taller Syracuse front line. And a good start inside as Sidbury connects.
I like that Boston College looked inside. They played a really patient possession. Looked like Syracuse started the game off man-to-man. But yeah, we are expected to see a lot of that 2-3 matchup zone.
What is it like facing a team the second time in a month, right? I mean, you kind of know each other's tendencies, and that can be a bit of a grind. Yeah. It's a grind this time of year, but you see a team twice, back-to-back fashion almost. It's difficult, right?
Well, I like what Coach Jack had to say. She said, you know, I really didn't take anything away from our first game. Today is a fresh new start, and it's almost like you got to think like that, right? Today is a new game, but you can understand and remind yourself, oh, yeah, and Dyaisha, if she steps this way, I got to make sure I adjust. You know, it's those little moments to try and guard your other opponents better.
Lena Rice tripped up and a foul called, a blocking foul. That'll go against the Eagles. Dontavia Wagner picks up her first personal. Look at the stats this season. BC outstanding at turning the opposition over. 12 steals per contest coming in.
A lot of good players anticipating the ball. Well, you see the double coming over, but the great adjustment inside that time. Wilson, well, see why she's earning her start.
19 games off the bench prior to today for the Buffalo transfer. Tied at 2, just underway, Conti Forum. Todd finally picks it up in the backcourt. Eagles turn it over.
Here's Wilson, who brings that power game to the Cuse post. Coach Jack loves it. They're able to get that footwork established, then step through the defense.
And we saw something pregame we haven't seen a lot of. Coach Jack and Coach Mack having a conversation for an extended period of time. They talked for maybe as long as 15 minutes. Woolley inside, tried to spin, and wasn't there. Here's Fair thinking about it. Dyaisha Fair behind the back. Shot clock under 10 for Woolley. And Rice left open. Connects, that's a long 2. 4-2 our score. And Brooke, I can't tell you the last time I saw 2 coaches converse for that length of time. Less than an hour before tip. Good take by Sidbury. She's got all 4 BC points.
Well, she has played with a sense of urgency these first 2 possessions. And yeah, you're right. You know, usually coaches kind of keep to their own side, right, their own routines, but I love it. These 2 ladies were engaged. They were just enjoying each other's company, and I hear got a good pickleball conversation going on.
I'm going to talk pickleball today because I play pickleball, and apparently Coach Mack plays a lot of pickleball, and Coach Jack wants to start playing more pickleball. Here's the steal, and Elena Rice in transition thinking about it. And the mid-range is silky smooth for 25 in white.
Turnovers is going to be a key in this game today. BC has had some trouble lately with turning the ball over. So 21 of those against Clemson. So for Cuse, if you get that, you got to convert those into points.
The Eagles coming off that 10-point setback, Little John Coliseum. 0 for 11 from downtown. That's a foul inside, and free throws coming for Wagner.
Hitting the glass, also a big part of this game too, getting to the free throw line. But you see the defense working well for Syracuse. Getting up, and there's Rice. Being able to finish off a steal. Again, it's important not only just to get the turnover, but to convert those into some points you can use.
Wagner, 2019 Miss Tennessee basketball, transferred in from NC State. Averaging over 12 points per game this year. She started every game. She's got 72 steals. Standing defensively. Tied at 6. You don't play pickleball, Reed.
Oh, you already know I play some pickleball. Come on.
Hey, you're a lot to deal with on the pickleball court.
I'm relentless as usual. BC's
Nearly 4 minutes in, tied at 6. Fully inside, off glass.
More patience from Syracuse, and Fair not trying to force the shot there. You see, BC's giving her that strong side, but leading into a double team, so she makes a good dump-off pass. That's getting bodied in the paint. Bring it. That's tough from Wagner. It's Fair. Just a little dish down pass because you got to come up and help. Wagner steps up. And the other side, great dish down pass. Good job with the handles, too. That's not easy. Keeping her balance and getting strong up to the glass.
Second foul on Sanaya Wilson, so making her first start of the season. 2 early fouls, and BC the advantage at 9-8.
Well, they can do that to you now. BC, they're going to play aggressive, especially in the paint, so they want to draw fouls.
That ball screen for Fair. Step back off of one leg.
Right? Just pa-pa, pa-pa, pa-pa. You just got to watch their feet go. And Fair's so light on the balls of her feet, always creating. And at 5'5", you have to be very good at creating space, and she does.
It's Kayla Ivey. KI will set up the offense against the Orange, who have been predominantly in man-to-man so far. Nearly halfway through the first. High-low, and it's intercepted and picked off by Wood.
And that was an example of one of those forced, telegraphed pass that's gotten BC into trouble. Get Fair handling the ball. And getting her own rebound. Let's go. Hustle City for number 2. Ooh.
Skip pass out to Woolley. And saved by BC. Tad Todd. This is where Fair can be so dangerous in the open floor. She'll set up Rice for a 3.
Yeah, I'm with you, Roy. I was full on expecting her to create some magic in the open floor. Seen her deflect a couple times early today.
Now, Dyaisha Fair scored over 3,000 points in her Syracuse career. 6 all-time in college basketball history. The handle's the smooth operator, Brooke. You love it.
The 1-foot step back.
Greatness is a feeling, a moment, a choice, unrelenting, a team effort. Greatness is accomplishing on this field and this one. Greatness is more than winning the game. It's changing it. Greatness is what we do. Accomplish greatness.
SoFi is helping me get my money right to achieve my ambitions. With SoFi checking and savings, I pay no account fees and earn a competitive APY.
Packed frozen? Thawed by lunch. Go-Gurt. Real good, real easy, real smooth.
What was important to Coach K was empowering women, and the K-Yow Fund is about helping those next to you and continuing to empower women when they are going through one of the toughest times in their life.
And we remind you, support the K-Yow Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA, the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Donate today at kyow.com. Back inside Conti Forum, requires Broad Roy Philpott, 1-point game. Syracuse ranked 21st in the country with the advantage and with possession.
Looks like BC's throwing a zone defense of their own. That one looked like a 1-3-1. Syracuse finding the spot to get the ball just outside of that lower block. Foul.
Latham off the mark. The foul called against Tiana Todd. That's her first. We'll stay with the orange. Fresh 20 seconds to work with. Latham didn't need it. And last touch by Syracuse out of bounds. BC will get it back. Don't forget Wednesday night ACC Network men's basketball doubleheader. Louisville and Syracuse get us underway at 7 Eastern. Kyle Filipowski, number 7 Duke, hosts Notre Dame at Cameron Indoor right here on ACC Network, also on the ESPN app. Tough loss for the Blue Devils last night against North Carolina in Chapel Hill. The country was watching, and UNC kind of ran away with it.
You know, packed house per usual. Another great classic game there. Be in Chapel Hill in a few weeks to see Duke come to town. Duke women and North Carolina women go at it.
Another great rivalry, no question. Daly, her first points, leading scorer for BC. Orange have missed their last 5. Fair off the hesitation. Well, a couple of wide open looks passed up.
I'm a little bit shocked that she didn't take that shot or this shot here, instead passing up 2 opportunities in 1 possession.
Well, he gets it back, and now Rice from the baseline. Well, she hasn't missed any of those so far today. Lena Rice, the Auburn transfer. She's got 6 points.
And more offensive rebounds for Syracuse, which is their strong suit. They've already got 3 in this game.
Yeah, front court advantage. The Orange had 23 offensive rebounds in the first matchup between these two. Tapped out, it'll stay on this end with 10 to shoot.
This Boston College team so good at home. See 10-2 this season. Their defense better, of course, locking down here at home. And they just, obviously feel more comfortable, as any team does when you're in your home environment. Makes a big difference here.
I don't know that I've ever seen that kind of discrepancy. 10-2 here at Conti Forum. 1-10 away. That is, it's just astonishing to see those numbers.
A lot of times it's indicative of a young team, which is what Coach Mack had told us. You're still learning, which is why you're not seeing stretches of consistent basketball. You're seeing, forced turnovers here and there with splashes of, minutes of great basketball and sharing. So it's just trying to get all those pieces put together. But yeah, I can definitely remember, as a younger player, you just crave playing at home, because a new gym means a new background, trying to get used to it, shoot well. And as you saw, 0 for 11 at Clemson from behind the line.
Rosovec checked in, immediately picked up her first foul. Now talk to Coach Mack over on the sidelines. Approaching 2 to go in the first quarter. Entertaining start, a 1-point game. Syracuse thought of favorably by ESPN bracketologist Charlie Cream. ACC also thought of in a high regard, if you will. Now in February, I'm trying to figure out what happened in the month of January. It went by so fast.
I think you're the only person on this planet who said that. January going by fast? News to me. News to these players, too, because you're hitting the dog days right now. Fair hitting them with the hezzy. That's what we're used to seeing.
Nothing about that felt forced. It was all under control. It was at different speeds, and she hit different gears to work herself wide open with protection from the rim on the reverse.
That's what the best who are undersized do. I was talking to you before the game about how Georgia Amore does it great for Virginia Tech, moving laterally, using her speed to her advantage. Same thing with Dyaisha Fair. She's quick and she's fast, but she doesn't use them both at the same time. Here's an example of that right now. Open floor, back it up, boom, and then explode as soon as you catch the defense slipping, and she did. She caught Ivy's balance, see? And then stutter step, the help is late.
Man, I saw that one wrong. It wasn't even the reverse. She was wide open on the front side. Eagles have missed their last 5 shots. BC needs a bucket. Daly over to Lacey. And ripped away by Njai.
You see Ivy settle the offense down. She's a great game manager. 3 assists for every turnover. It's an incredible ratio.
Ivy throws one up off the front of the rim. Woolley with a rebound. And a foul called after the dump off to Latham, and Alyssa Latham's going to shoot a pair. Kayla Ivy picks up her first. Latham at the stripe this season, 62%. Game winner comeback against Clemson. They were down by 19 points at one point in time. Syracuse has done that a couple of times this year, leading the comeback.
They had a terrific stretch where they won 6 games in a row and then have to lose their last 2. And a team that's handed Notre Dame 2 losses.
2, not one, but 2.
But 2. Going back and take a look at that and just seeing that Hughes was big on the boards in both games, and that seems to be the reoccurring theme is when they're able to control the rebound game, and especially offensive glass, likely they're going to come away with the win.
About a 3-second differential between game and shot clock. Syracuse with its largest lead at 5. Orange shooting 44% to start here on the road in Chestnut Hill. It remains on tight on this end, ripped away by Rice.
Yeah, fine, fair.
And Elena Rice, the runner. How about it? Right at the buzzer.
Just kidding. Rice says, I got this one.
And the Orange in the first 10 minutes.
Grittiest player, according to Coach Mack, to come out of BC. She said that Claire was such an energy giver and was so hype and so willing to keep her energy level up that during timeouts, when she was dealing with some foot injuries, would still stand so that she wouldn't tighten up. Just wanted to make sure she was at her best. And you know, those are the kind of players that you'll always remember, not for their stats, it's for the way that they made you feel. And she was the embodiment of that. And our best goes out to her and her family in her memory.
First possession of our second quarter. JoJo Lacey with the turnaround. Now coast to coast off the steal, and Boston College makes it a 1-possession game.
Anticipation, especially from your post players, you know, who are long and lengthy. If they're good at that, that's how you lead the ACC with 12 steals a game.
12 steals a game, that's a lot. That's a big number. That's going to keep you in a lot of games, even if the offense isn't clicking.
Especially if you can, you know, convert those into those quick touchdowns. Get yourself a layup. You see the BC defense very active, trying to force Fair to a difficult shot. That was a good one for her to take if you're BC's defense.
Eagles can make it a 1-point contest, and Lacey traveled. Now this is one way to get back in and forcing the turnover and having a clear path.
Yep, JoJo Lacey, great anticipation again. Just gets out there and able to convert those 2 points. Now where BC, they got to tighten up on the offensive end. They got to be more disciplined. As you just saw, Lacey came in and traveled because she got a little too excited to get too deep in the paint. Over penetration, too much. All right, stop. Make a quick decision, pass or pull up.
A different sort of struggles for Syracuse, working against this trapping defense instituted by Coach Mack and Boston College. Here's Lacey again, the dump off, and a left-handed finish by Sidbury.
More transition buckets for BC. I mean, this is what Coach Mack was talking about. Like, when they're in their flow, this is what you're going to see.
6-0 run for the Eagles. Here's the steal with Todd, 3-on-1. And the block by Woolley out of bounds.
BC taking advantage of the moment off the tough pass. I mean, good heads-up play again. Lacey, she's got her eyes everywhere, and that's part of giving those steals where it's not just being on the ball or, you know, guarding the lane that the ball's being passed to. The head is on a swivel.
Wagner from 15, couldn't get the bounce. And back to Syracuse. Rice did a good job of not trying to save it. Veteran officiating crew with Jules Gallion, Tony Patillo, and Ashley Good. 61-54 in the first meeting back at the Dome on January 7th. Game in which Syracuse led by 14. BC came back in the fourth quarter, made it close. Rebounding was the difference. Dyaisha Fair was the difference with 21. Latham off the heel. Saved to Woolley. And Latham again. For 3 point-blank opportunities. It goes back to BC. Sophie Burrows picks up the personal. Our next all-access, the ACC Life, is a very special one. It premieres tomorrow night. ACC student athletes and administrators travel to Washington, D.C. in July of last year, on the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington. Dallin Cup hosts this special all-access at 7 Eastern tomorrow night right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
And here's that zone. And what makes it difficult is you've got Woolley, Georgia Woolley, 6 feet on top. And that is specifically to try to affect the passing lanes and keep BC out of that top pocket right near the free throw line.
Woolley just picked up her first personal. Burrows, who had the foul just a moment ago, 17 points in the first meeting between these two. She went off. Difference maker as well in addition to Fair. Lacey stepped out of bounds. Here's Burrows. 19 games, make it 20 now with 3 starts. What your point differential was home and away? Were you that much better at home, like what we mentioned with Boston College earlier?
No, I think there was just certain gyms where I didn't like to shoot, and the more intimate, the more hot the gym was, the better. You know, but certainly playing against a defense, like we were used to playing teams 2-3 matchup, and when the defense was on us 2-3, it was hard to score. And that's what Coach Mack was talking about. You know, why our team kind of freezes up at sometimes against a 2-3 zone in that matchup. I want to continue to keep that movement, keep the spacing going. Sometimes it's just that mentality of seeing a zone.
Physical start inside, really, for both sides. Yeah. Krasovec just picked up her second personal. Again, a seat on the bench for 16. Three and a half minutes into our second quarter, a 1-point game. Syracuse surged out in front by 7 at the end of 1. You see his battle back here in the second.
Right, are you surprised at all that Fair's only had 6 shot attempts here? I mean, to me, it seems like she's not forcing herself into the offense by any means, but I kind of like to see her do some of that. I want to see her call for the ball.
A little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
I like it when you ask me the questions. The answer is yes. I am surprised. Kennedy Perkins on the floor for the first time. A feed to Latham, who lost it out of bounds. Now, Syracuse without a point so far in our second quarter. 5:50 remaining in the half. And back on the floor is Kyra Wood. Mentioned that front court advantage with Kyra Wood and Alyssa Latham. They combined to average 15 rebounds per game. That's quite an imposing duo.
Yes, and combined between the both of them, 132 offensive rebounds. They have really similar style in the way that they're long and lengthy. Latham was that first commit for the 2023 class as a top 100 player.
Burrows helped force that turnover on the rejection. And the corner three, no. Ripped away by Wagner. 3-0, and that's as easy as it gets for Boston College, and the Eagles are back in front.
Defense to offense is what's fueling Boston College right now. The 3 steals, that one down there, and then the immediate look ahead. The players are doing a great job in transition offense. Coach McNamee said how fun it is for her players. He said most of the time you see our players run a transition, they run the sidelines, not us. We go to the middle.
Against the zone, the shot clock already down to 6 after the bucket by Jacayla Thompson. Backup point guard. Fair's got to launch one, and she connects first points of the quarter for the Orange. Syracuse back in front, and Fair being patient. 6 points to start. And lost out of bounds. Coach Lacey turns it over. 20-19 our score. 4:44 remaining here at Conti Forum on this Play for K weekend.
Greatness is a feeling, a moment, a choice, unrelenting, a team effort. Greatness is accomplishing on this field and this one. Greatness is more than winning the game. It's changing it. Greatness is what we do. Accomplish greatness.
This is going viral. But you know what should go viral? The fact that Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader gives you personalized monthly payments before you buy. Toss us a like.
No fees or minimums and no overdraft fees are another reason banking with Capital One is an even easier decision than this.
I'll take Barkley.
Yes!
Yep, even easier than that. What's in your wallet?
It made me feel like this is the way it should be in this business. She was a special human being first. And then what she had to go through and endure with the cancer, breast cancer, I just really am, this means a lot that I can represent her or help her cause, a cause that has her name on it in any small way. And to play for Kay, if that's what we can do, I'm all in. The character piece is what I pray that she can look at me and say, yes, that's it. She had this Southern voice, and I mock it. My mom's Southern, so I can do that. She's from South Carolina. And so I pray that she can look at me and say, you know what? May not be the best X's and O coach, may not be the best coach ever, but her character is what I like that she's trying to emulate.
Coach Jack talking about the legendary Kay Yao. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott back in Chestnut Hill. 1-point lead for Syracuse. The one thing that Coach Jack reminded us of her meetings with Coach Yao was always remembered her name. And she said that was so important to me. You'd walk in the building and immediately she would recognize you, talk to you like she's known you forever. And that was something that lasted Coach Jack still to this very day, among many other things.
I mean, that was Coach Yao's superpower, was her humility. And that's what Coach Jack was talking to us about, an open seat, being able to sit down next to her and just observe a game, and for Coach Yao to look at her and say, hey, what are you seeing? This is what I'm seeing. Sharing information without being guarded and to empower the next generation. I think that's what Coach Jack was talking to us today about as well.
Offensive foul called against Alyssa Latham. How about Sidbury moments ago, but Latham here with the charge.
She said, I don't just steal the ball. I'm going to get it back to you one way or another. That's a stealth steal, the charges. Think about it like that. Forcing turnovers has been a key to success today so far for BC. They forced 7 in the second quarter.
Sidbury just gave BC the advantage. Ejected inside. The Twin Towers got there. Shot clock did not reset. Here's Lacey baseline. And a fresh 20 again. Wagner, no. Tapped out back to the orange. 21-20. 23 remaining in our first half. BC trying to even its record at 12-12 with a win here at home, where they've been dominant this season at 10-2 at Conti Forum. Todd will check back in. Wagner will get a breather. Coach Mack.
And we knew this game was going to be big on the boards right now. BC with a +4 advantage for a Syracuse team that ends every game up 7.
Brooke Weisbrod, the legendary Coastal Carolina Hall of Famer. Roy Philpott here with you. And a good look off the glass. Sidbury connects. And a foul was called as well, and BC now with its largest advantage.
I'm going to give a shout out to Sidbury for the finish, but Wagner has been all over the place, double teaming it, getting back up the lane. And then Sidbury with a terrific finish. How about that pass from Ivy? No look bounce pass, yes please.
Sidbury with 10, the only player in this game in double figures. 24-20. And how about BC outscoring Syracuse 13-2 so far in the second quarter?
That's incredible. And my mistake, that was Daly on that double team to cause a turnover. BC's defense giving all kind of problems to Syracuse. Just terrific help side closeouts.
And switching to that trapping pressure really made a difference. Fair open for a minute, makes him pay, and that's a long two.
I mean, Roy, she came right off that screen. She had a hand in her face. You can't contest that shot any better. She still knocked it down.
Transfer from Buffalo. We asked Coach Jack, do you have doubters coming into the ACC? She said, yeah, there were many more non-believers than those that thought that she would come in and do what she's done. Lacey from downtown. And the first three of the game for Boston College, a lid lifter, after they went 0 for 11 in the loss at Clemson on Thursday night. Fair responds again.
Could be fair take overtime here. These last 2 minutes. You know, big players, they rise up when the occasion calls for it. I like the way that Fair is being more commanding of the basketball here in the second quarter.
Lacey off the mark. Fair with possession, in control. Steps into a three, and it's all net. Boy, and she gives you the head nod on the way back. She's starting to feel it, and she's got 13 in the blink of an eye.
She said, was that a doubter I heard in the building? I think it was.
It wasn't me, it was Brooke.
Oh,
it wasn't me.
No, I don't know about that now. Could be some of these fans behind us. They are sitting kind of close.
Tied at 27. Yeah. Sidbury connects right in front of Latham. A good game brewing in Chestnut Hill. The lead at 2 for BC. Fair with 9 points in this quarter, all for Syracuse. The only point scored by the Orange so far in our second period. And the baseline J is there for Todd.
That's a great decision in transition, right? You don't have the numbers. There was no forcing there, but then your teammate comes and hustles, and even though you don't have a great advantage, give her the confidence to take the shot.
Both of these teams have made 4 of their last 5 shots apiece. They'll swing it around to Woolley for 3, make it 5 of 6.
Wow. I love the way that these two teams are answering back to each other. And this BC team, good at home. Cuse took 2 hours. They said, we don't want to take another.
Four-second differential between the clocks. Daly up and under. Couldn't spin it in. Syracuse has to go. Here's Rice. 31-30. Sidbury with 13. Fair with 13 to lead both sides. A 1-point game. Our halftime report coming up right now. Let's get you to the studio. Here's Justin and Ivory. Welcome back to the... Now, BC has lost 4 straight. Syracuse, its first 2-game skid of the season. Something's got to give as we start our second half at Conti Forum. Orange have it. And a 1-point game just outside of downtown Boston. Lena Rice got off to a great start with 8 first-quarter points. Here's Fair. Short on the 3. Wagner the rebound. Here comes the Eagles.
Eagles did a great job in the second quarter of sharing the basketball. They had 9 field goals and assisted Roy on 8 of those. You know how important that is. Talk about team ball.
Still a buzz in the air yesterday after what Caitlin Clark did, going over 30 points for 6 straight games. Juju Watkins and what we saw last week as well. There are some big names putting up big numbers that really have drawn the attention of the planet. Sorry to be dramatic, but this is Sunday. Hey, sometimes I get that way.
No drama here. Coach Schmack telling us about her being out to dinner with, you know, her family, and over here in conversation about Juju's 51 points. And this young woman right here, Dyaisha Fair, 3,100 points for her career. Still going. As we mentioned to you at the top of the telecast, to have 3 of the top 6 scorers ever in women's college basketball. And you see what Caitlin Clark did, approaching the all-time record for Kelsey Plum and can do it as a junior. I mean, that's just what blows me away is Caitlin Clark still has a year of eligibility.
She could come back, Brooke Weisbrod. She could come back.
Okay.
You're telling me it's not going to happen?
I don't think so. #1 draft pick, going to break the all-time record. I mean, I think it does depend on how Iowa does in the tournament. Of course, there's always going to be that hunger, chase for a championship. But yeah, I do. I think this could be our last season seeing Caitlin Clark in an Iowa uniform. Just done some absolutely incredible things, changing the game in terms of people talking about it, right? You got your server at the restaurant talking about it. You got the guy at National Car Bus Rental, you know, he's talking about it. And the young women who are going to play the games because of Caitlin Clark, that's the real win right there.
Sinai Wilson gives Syracuse the advantage. Well, there's some shots that Clark has been taking recently that, and if you look at the court here at Conti Forum, it's 2 steps across the half-court stripe, and it's going up. Wing. It's going up, and more times than not, it's going in.
Yeah.
33-32, bucket by Daly. Boston College gets it back. Drea Daly hit the deck. Jump ball, it goes back to BC.
Hughes defense getting caught on the backside. And no help side there. That's a good heads-up play for Daly to finish the shot. BC, the advantage of having a great passer in the game, too, someone like Kayla Ivey, is that she can see those plays ahead. And for Coach Mack, who is an outstanding point guard, she loves to see, you know, when those good, obvious passes happen, it's empowering to the rest of your team. You've got to make plays simple in the game.
Shot clock down to 7. Off the spin, here's Daly. Wide right, it's tapped out. 3.8 to shoot. Excited to see what the Caitlin Clark-Steph Curry shootout looks like in All-Star Weekend.
You're talking about Sabrina Ionescu.
No, I'm talking about Caitlin Clark and Steph Curry. They're going toe-to-toe. The invitation has already been extended.
Wait a minute now. Yeah. I thought that was Sabrina's.
I'm breaking news. Foul inside. Really hit the deck hard.
Yeah, Lily's down. They're falling over. Trainer.
Don't forget Thursday, while we have a moment, we'll have a full slate starting ACC PM at 4. Then we'll bring you a women's basketball doubleheader with a featured matchup. Number 5, NC State, and 17th ranked Virginia Tech, followed by Nothing But Net. That's coverage you can only find in one place, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
All right, we'll take another look at this. Looks like Woolley caught the elbow of Sidbury. He was just coming down for the shot. Certainly just a basketball play, especially since Sidbury was in the act of shooting. So good to see Woolley back on her feet.
We'll step aside in Chestnut Hill.
Greatness is a feeling, a moment, a choice, unrelenting, a team effort. Greatness is accomplishing on this field and this one. Greatness is more than winning the game. It's changing it. Greatness is what we do. Accomplish greatness.
Packed frozen? Thawed by lunch. Go-Gurt. Real good, real easy, real smooth.
Peanut butter and bacon may seem crazy to you, but this is just smooth peanut butter and crispy bacon asking a double cheeseburger with melty cheese and a shake to love them. It's peanut butter bacon time at Sonic.
Well, the pain is real after Woolley absorbed that shot right in the teeth, and they're double checking to make sure that everything is still intact. And officiating crew had a look at this sequence during the break, and nothing was added to the original foul call, Brooke. And Still hurts, and you know a little bit about that, don't you?
Yeah, I think that was the right call by the officials. Not intentional, certainly just in the act of shooting. And yeah, my sport came in soccer when I decided to play goalie. That was the last game. But you know what? There was no goal scored.
Good for you.
Just a little plastic surgery, reconstructive surgery on my face.
Oh,
but
my
all
gosh.
good. All good.
Syracuse gets it back, trailing by 1. It is Ionescu and Steph Curry slated to go toe-to-toe the All-Star game. Put Caitlin Clark in there if you want to. I think it would be great.
I would love that, actually.
It would be great. It would be great.
Maybe bring out Steve Kerr.
Kerr.
Clark and Kerr.
That would be awesome. BC gets it back. We were there when Kelsey Plum went off the NCAA tournament, got Washington past Maryland, going all the way, making that deep run, having a chance to win a national championship. And Plum just entered the same kind of zone that we've seen. Clark obviously has been even at a different level. Step back is there, and Tiana Todd gives BC a 3-point advantage. But the point in saying all of that, it's going to be fun to see what perhaps could be her final run in the NCAA tournament, which all those games will be on ESPN networks. We can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's just going to be an incredible tournament with the talent we've seen, the individual performances, not to mention the team performances as well. I mean, this game has exploded. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, better rush to it.
Perkins tries to keep it in bounds, has to launch at the buzzer. And a shot clock violation. Kennedy Perkins unable to get it off. The sophomore from Illinois. And for Coach Jack, team down by 3. She knew it was going to be a tough contest. You're not going to walk in here and waltz out with an easy win.
That's right. Well, this Boston College team, although 3-7, they've been able to get some competitive games going, and minus a few turnovers and some free throws, they'd have gotten away with a win.
Rice will feed it inside to Latham, who kept it high. Too strong on the 10-footer.
Good look ahead.
Wagner.
Love the way that they executed that transition. Everybody stayed in the middle of the floor. I mean, that's one that Coach Mack is going to clip. Hey, ladies, this is how we do it.
See, with a 5-point lead and a steal. In the midst of a 6-0 run, Eagles give it right back. Turnover by Sidbury.
Coach Mack wanting a foul there. Here's Sidbury. Look ahead. Ivy. Look ahead. Everybody's heads are up. I love it. Great team basketball.
KI's had some really good passes in transition. We saw the no-look bounce pass in the second quarter, and that one doesn't show up in the box score as anything fancy, but in a critical point in this game, it means a ton for the Eagles trying to secure the upset. Daly. Wilson inside operating. And a foul called. Free throws for the Orange. Second foul on Wagner. She'll check out for a moment. Joe Lacey back on the floor.
That's a good sub for Coach Mack, considering you're going to have a media timeout as soon as you get the next dead ball under 5 minutes. So for Wagner, you get some extra rest and not a lot of time and action, or game time action, gone.
Sanaya Wilson, her first start of the season, her 4th career start. Reigns 2, 1 possession game, 37-34. Feel the defensive tenacity ratchet up a couple of notches this last 2 minutes.
Well, BC loves to attack off that the high post free throw area, using their post players. They want a little more lengthy and long, and then Sidbury going to bang inside with the best of them, get herself to the line.
On this Play for K weekend.
It is my great honor to present the first Jimmy V. ESPY for Perseverance, my dear friend, Kay Yao.
that video sequence will live forever with two of the all-time greats, Pat Summitt introducing Kay Yow, the 2007 ESPYs. It's hard to believe it's been 17 years almost since that moment in time, and it's Play for Kay weekend. Think back to some of the Yowisms for Coach Yow. When life kicks you, let it kick you forward, and never let the urgent get in the way of the important.
Seems like Kay Yow always had a way to make the moment feel manageable. And no matter how big or if it felt small to you, maybe it felt big to her. And I think that was one of her special abilities, was to bring people together and empower young women, and to do it in a way where, you know, it made you want to emulate that, right? I mean, that's what Coach Jack was talking to us about, being able to empower young women to feel confident about themselves, especially by the time they leave here and reach 25, become that real adult. So I've done my job. Nice pass.
Wagner inside, back on the floor after the free throw by Sidbury. And BC with its largest lead at 6.
How many times have we seen BC come out of a timeout with a spark kind of play, a motivating play based off their defense? Sidbury going for the steal. Too big of a gamble there, but this one worked out well off the rebound. Sidbury again leading the break, finding Ivy. 2 in total control of the basketball today. Hard to believe that's just her 3rd assist, but team-wise, BC doing well. 12 on the day.
Ivy leads the ACC in assist-to-turnover ratio. Perhaps this is the start of the Fair takeover in our second half. Her first points of the 3rd quarter.
Syracuse now with that 1-2-1-1 press, trying to trap in the corners. And BC is a team that will turn the ball over if you speed them up too much.
Sidbury inside. Contact, no whistle by Wood. Bucket is good to lead back to 6.
Sidbury is the hustle player of the day.
And Fair down low. Hit the deck.
I mean, post players don't get the credit they deserve for having to hustle from literally one end of the floor to the other, but Sidbury sprints down the floor, makes herself available. That's part of it too, right? You got to step into the open pocket, make your hands big, call for the ball.
See Sidbury's production the last 5 games. One of the reasons BC outscored Syracuse in the paint today, 32-10. Fair at the free throw. She'll get one more. Chance for 17 points. Calm and collected. Preseason all-conference. Started her career at Buffalo.
It's been a long time, or a while, I feel, since we've had a game where combined there's only been 15 three-point attempts by this point in the game. And credit both teams working hard to get better shots. Sidbury is on one today.
And Coach Mack told us pregame, got to play taller. What we did in the first meeting, she looked at Sidbury in her direction when she said those words. Taya stepped up in a big way, 18 points. Three-pointer buried by Sophie Burrows. Her first points, and it's a one-possession game. It feels like BC would have a little bit of a larger lead after what it's done the last 2 quarters. Not so.
Now Syracuse still has Fair. They still have 3-point shooters. And this is the stretch. Again, if you hurry BC up, force them to play a little bit faster, they are turnover prone. So it looks like that's what Syracuse is trying to do right now. Extend that pressure, throw in a press. See what they can do to force the Eagles to make mistakes.
14 turnovers for Boston College. A lot of basketball left to be played. Fair from downtown, and we are tied. 20 on the board for 2 in white.
An absolute game face when she released that shot. Gave you no indication it was coming.
Sidbury, no. Syracuse can reclaim the advantage. Latham will bust through. Wagner swiped it away out of bounds from behind. I mean, this is stone cold at the top of the key.
Right? I mean, watch face. No expression. Right back to her. Oh, you gonna give me that room? Let me show you what time it is. Almost from the B, the corner.
Dyaisha Fair shooting 39% from 3 this season. Had 9 threes in the win against Florida State. In the air and a chance for 3 the hard way. Dyaisha Fair with 22. And in full game takeover mode.
Watch the dance, the hezzy, playing with the ball a little bit. Oh, trying to go for the gamble. Ivy did. Caught her on the arm.
Syracuse coming off of that loss at Louisville on Thursday night. Jeff Walz had some interesting comments after the game. And he talked about Dyaisha as the best guard in America.
Well, what he likes about her is that you know the ball's going to come to her anyways, and she still is able to produce. I mean, you had all the confidence in the world with her ball, the ball in her hands, that she's going to take that shot, and then gets an and one out of it.
The response by Lacey. She's 11 of 61 from downtown this year. That's a big one.
And the Cuse have done a great job of hitting big shots and not allowing BC to extend this lead, but the Eagles have had an answer. For every every time they felt Syracuse start to run, Lacey's been one of the ones to take over.
6 points, 4 boards. Check it, 12 points for Lacey. Now Dyaisha Fair with the bounce. There was enough backspin to bring that one back down and home.
It was the softest shot I've seen.
And Wagner going to shoot 2 on the other end.
It's that drive from JoJo Lacey. Came into this game averaging just 6 points. And just a great, simple move right to the basket, not trying to do too much. Attack the defense. Wagner on the line. Tie ball game. I mean, these two teams have felt so different in the way that they're scoring. And it's only fitting we have a tie. Just about headed into the 4th.
Dyaisha Fair with possession. Half of her points coming in this 3rd quarter. 12 so far, 25 in the game. Latham inside off the good look is too strong. Rhea Daly in transition. Did a good job just to keep the dribble alive and not turn it over.
Yeah, good decision. That way Ivy can set up. She really likes to use those high posts, either the screen or coming off the elbow to create.
Ivy has a calmness about her game as well. Daly's got to go. Nearly travel. That's an open 3. Syracuse will get it back with a shot clock off to close down the 3rd. Oh, what a game. Tied at 49. Fair gets it back. 30 minutes in, we remain tied at 49. 10 minutes to go in Conti Forum. A good game brewing here in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
In this game has not come out, not even for a second. Played all 30 minutes in this one. The only player for her team in double figures, and is doing her best to get the Orange a win here on the road, and literally carrying them, outscoring the rest of her team.
Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott, Conti Forum, the place to be. We're tied at 49. 10 minutes to go. Orange have it, and Latham was fouled from behind. Wagner just picked up her 3rd. That's something to watch. Free throws coming for Alyssa Latham. Freshman out of Glenwood, Illinois. Trying to give the Orange the advantage back. Don't forget, coming up Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern, after our men's basketball matchup, the Nothing But Net crew will break down the night in the ACC with highlights and analysis every single game. Look ahead to the best matchups of the coming week. It's coverage you can only find in one place, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. 50-49. And Latham with 3 points. Gives her team the lead. Syracuse back in the matchup zone.
And definitely slowing the Eagles' offense down on this possession. That's where they want the ball. They like it right about that free throw line.
Free to shoot.
Pressed.
Krasovec. Shot clock violation. That did not touch the rim.
Good active defense from Syracuse. You know, players were on the balls of their feet. Hands were up. They were talking. And that's that possession that Coach Mack was telling us about. Her players freeze sometimes against the zone. Seemed to be that time too. Nice pass from Fair inside. Defense from BC looks straight up.
That pass had to be pinpoint. You had to thread a needle, and she did it off the bounce inside to Latham.
Fair has complete control of the basketball. Look at that one hand, pow!
Third foul on Krasovec.
You know what else that angle would work really well at is pickleball. Right up close to the net, right?
Indeed.
Not out of the kitchen, though. Of course, you got to stay out of the kitchen.
Coach Jack told us she has pickleball on her agenda in the offseason after talking with Coach Mack pregame. Coach Mack said she didn't start playing until her husband, I think she got her husband to play about a year ago, and they're very competitive. She uses pickleball as that Monday kind of relaxer. She'll play for a couple of hours, get the stress out, get ready to go back to the grind.
Yeah.
She said she'll play maybe 4 hours.
I believe it.
Monday, that's getting after it.
Yeah.
Pickleball, you take a lot of steps, burn a lot of calories. You're working. Lacey's working.
Lacey
throws it up
is
and
working. Lacey hitting the most difficult shot of the day right there. She came to play. Love her aggressiveness. 14 points now for JoJo Lacey.
JoJo Lacey back on the floor for Boston College.
Starting off on the left side, finishing right. The fadeaway shot. Most coaches would feel a little hesitant about her taking that, but today she's on top of it.
Scored her last 7 points for BC, and it's an emotional return for her of sorts. Her first home game since her father passed away, returned the action on the road in that loss at Clemson, and now back at home. She is absolutely going off with 14 points. Between her and Sidbury, BC's got a chance. Doubled her season average already to try to pull this home court upset and get rid of this 4-game skid.
To me, her game started off with 2 great steals on back-to-back possessions. Any player that starts off strong on defense like that, likely to have a good offensive game.
Todd off the mark. Founded by the Orange, and that's Burrows. 1 point advantage for Syracuse. Orange led by as many as 7. 18-11 after the first quarter today. Game has had plenty of twists and turns since. This is one of them. But the handles and Fair too strong. That was about 7 dribbles between the legs before she corralled it to get off a clean look.
When you see Ivy creating space, just trying to say, hey, let's do what we do best. Get back to the high post area, see what we can control. But I like Sidbury off the bounce right here. Yep. That's a good call by BC and Ivy.
Well, you were calling for it. 32 in pink. Heard you loud and clear.
Well, I like the face-up game from Sidbury. You see how quick her first step is? She's able to get low. And underneath, Sanaya Wilson attack the basket.
Reminder in this Play for K weekend, support the K-Yow Cancer Fund, partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Donate today at kyow.com. Tied at 52, 7 minutes to go in Chestnut Hill. Their scoring has gone up in every quarter, 4-9 to 12. What will this fourth quarter look like? Burrows left open. Latham on the offensive glass. Fair will get a clean look.
That's where the size of Syracuse comes in at advantage. Here's Wilson going up strong. So the size leads to an offensive rebound. Syracuse's best offense for them. And then they can get back up to the free throw line between what Fair's doing and the bigs. Really get a sense of what makes Syracuse work so well.
Sanai Wilson has 4 personal fouls, making her first start of the season. 6 points and 4 boards, trying to add to that tally. And she does. Mentioned she had been dealing with that foot injury. Primary reason that Coach Jack has brought her off the bench, but she convinced us in our pregame conversation. Sanai is getting right back there close to 100%, and that could be meaningful for the Orange down the stretch.
You know, Coach talked about how she earned that right to start because she's been playing with the edge. To win this game, that's what you got to have down the stretch. It's edge and hustle for a very evenly matched type of ball game.
Game that has featured 9 ties and 13 lead changes.
Is that all? Just 13?
Well, I mean, especially since that first quarter where it felt like maybe Syracuse was going to run Boston College out of the gym. Didn't happen, and BC a ton of credit. This 4-game losing streak has not mattered at all in this one. Shot clock down to 7. Todd outside to Lacey. Defense by the Orange. Burrows inside to Latham. And the lead at 4.
What a good transition opportunity for Syracuse. Again, off good defense. Leads to good passing. And an easy shot inside. That's a tough one again for Lacey. Let's go, JoJo.
JoJo Lacey with 16. Lead back to 2. Fair sizes up a 3, and guess what? She drained it, 59-54. Dyaisha Fair with 28.
And Fair getting into a nice friendly conversation. I see with somebody over here on the sideline who was kind of in disbelief. Oh man, how did you hit that shot? Sir, we're all there.
We're all a witness. Rare miss, an open look, top of the key. 59-54. Syracuse has outscored BC 10-5 to start this 4th quarter. The thing that impresses me the most about her is just her demeanor. Everything is matter of fact. She's not going to get too high or too low. For the fans talking a little trash courtside, does not distract her.
Doesn't distract her, perhaps motivates her. So you may want to think twice if you want to get to a chat game with Dyaisha Fair. It's Sidbury. Every time she gets the basketball, you got to feel good. Your chances, if you're BC.
And for a minute, it appeared as if Coach Jack called a timeout. She did not. She made that clear to the official who stopped the game for a moment. They'll restart things, and I like that communication. Not going to force Coach to take a timeout that she never called.
Too valuable.
Fair defended by Wagner. How about this matchup? Hand in the face. Will it matter? Wagner slaps it out of bounds. 4:44 remaining. A 1-possession game in Conti Forum. This ACC clash.
I play for Aunt Dawn.
I play for my granny.
I play for my mom.
I play for Barbara.
I play for the little girls that aspire to be on the big stage.
I play for Aunt Shirley and Grandma.
I play for Carolyn McNamee and my parents.
Back in Conti Forum on this Play for K weekend. With Weisbrod, Roy Philpotts, Boston College, all pink uniforms. Syracuse in the road whites. Good game down the stretch, 59-56. And the fans well represented in their pink this Sunday Play for K afternoon. Orange have it. Latham. Burrows on the offensive glass. And a fresh 20. Dyaisha Fair will back it out.
And check out defensively, Wagner on Fair, going to try to add some length. Disruptor off the switch, though.
Back iron for Woolley. Burrows again, her second offensive board on this possession. Fair makes him pay. 31 on the board for Dyaisha Fair.
Yeah, that's tough. If you're BC, you play solid defense, but 2 offensive rebounds from Syracuse lead to a 3. Good hustle from Lacey again.
JoJo Lacey with a season-high 18. And Brooke Dyaisha Fair now with a season-high 31 this afternoon.
Just incredible. Other players scoring, but it's the offensive rebounds that are keeping the possessions alive. So Burrows gets this one, able to kick it out and find Fair. You can't leave her, no matter what. Make sure you got a body on her and understand that her shot is so quick. Give her that space, she's going to light it up.
Coach Jack said Dyaisha is locked in the moment.
Yeah.
While Sophie Burrows, who had 17 points in the first meeting between these two, has 3 points and 7 boards today, including those 2 critical offensive rebounds moments ago. Lacey, it's 3 the hard way. And JoJo versus Dyaisha, the two have gone back and forth, and now Lacey gets a breather. Under 4 minutes to play in Chestnut Hill.
Well, let's see what Wagner can do with Fair, because she's going to face guard her, try to keep her from even getting a touch. And you're really going to see one of the best defenders in the ACC against one of the best guards in the country go at it.
Here's the matchup. The step back 3. Fair with 34. Right in the face of Wagner, and there was no doubt that was going down.
I could watch this matchup all day long. Dyaisha Fair knew it. She said, go ahead, scoot on down. I got something for you. Hezzy, that's a LeBron James sidestep 3 right there. That's what we're looking at. What a day. 34 points. And didn't we say in the first quarter, when's Dyaisha going to start calling for the ball? Man, shooting the lights out.
She hasn't had to call for it because the ball's been in her hands, and she's quite comfortable there. And again, the stare down, there's not going to be a lot of emotion. She's here. She's operating with the precision of a surgeon against BC.
Yeah, I mean, if you're BC, you got to throw a double team at her right now. You cannot let Fair continue to go off. So when she's up here like that, you got to throw somebody else up to double, maybe another big, and ask your guards to rotate, play some help side.
She scored 4 in the first quarter, 9 in the second, 12 in the third. And already with 9 points here in the fourth quarter, we've got a lot of basketball left to be played, and those 9 all from downtown to the last 9 points scored by Syracuse. We've seen some outstanding performances this year. We've seen Anna Hidalgo, seen some outstanding players in the ACC, Liz Kitley, Georgia Amore. You saw just this past Thursday night in that great atmosphere at Castle Coliseum in Blacksburg. You watch Dyaisha Fair operate. Awfully impressive. Compare what she's done with any of those players, and it's right up there. Lacey off the bench, too strong. Burrows another rebound. That's her 8th.
And now Fair can just settle in, manage this game, and get the shot that her team wants, but likely the one that she's going to get.
I mean, get her another touch. It's not rocket science. It's basketball. Well, she wanted it.
Yeah, she almost let it go from there. She still might.
Strong for Woolley. Tracked down by Sid Berry. Ahead is Lacey. She's got 20. Check it, 21. Just 1 point off of her career high. Fair's got the basketball on a string. And Rice was fouled. Lena Rice to the free throw line.
Well, good job by Syracuse. They're not delaying. They're saying, hey, we're still going to attack. You got to try to deal with this defense instead of just playing on their heels, tentative, trying to pass the ball and burn time.
Lena Rice without a point since the first quarter. One more shot coming. Don't forget Wednesday night's ACC Network men's basketball doubleheader. Louisville and Syracuse start us off at 7 Eastern. Number 7 Duke tries to bounce back, hosting Notre Dame at Cameron Indoor. Only here on the ACC Network, also on the ESPN app. Lead back to 6. BC needs some offense.
Yeah, BC's got to get a good shot. I think Lacey's a good option for them, or Sidbury again. Catch it around that free throw line. Then put the ball on the floor and try to go to work.
Wagner with position, but the pass is errant. Bully was bumped. Montavia will pick up her 3rd. And Syracuse now in the bonus, so that becomes significant.
I was just looking to see what team fouls are at, and now you're at 5 for BC, so that will give Syracuse 2 free throws. You know, that was an unforced turnover. Just trying to make an entry pass, but that tells you if you can ramp up your defense late in the game, just add some pressure. And just make the entry passes difficult, and that already helps you out.
Check that, it's a 4th foul on Wagner. Syracuse now has its largest lead, 69-61. Rhea Daly will check back in. Another spirited effort by Boston College. One more run is needed to try to get back in this. Lacey, the great dump off to Sidbury.
Those two have worked so well together today, haven't they? I mean, I love the way that both of them move without the basketball and what Lacey's created with the ball in her hands. She's been playing some point forward out there.
And Fair was bumped.
JoJo Lacey, 21 points today. Good adjustment there at the last minute, dishing it off. Lacey's also got 4 rebounds, couple of assists.
It's career high. New one for Sidbury. It's taken that kind of performance in addition to that of JoJo Lacey to give BC a chance.
And Sidbury double-double today as well, 10 rebounds.
Fair with 35. Well, when Coach Jack said she is locked in, we heard her. Now we really hear her.
Now you feel it, not just see it.
Orange have made 11 straight at the free throw line. That's also been a difference maker. 140 remaining in Conti for him. Sidbury needed that one. Instead, it's short. And you know Fair's going to slow things down.
Yeah, she's not somebody that's just going to give the ball up. You know, you're not going to get a steal off of Dyaisha Fair. Her handle's so good. It's going to manage the game here, get a couple high ball screens.
Fair, elbow J. Sidbury the rebound. Her 11th. Todd needs it. Latham has it off the miss. And approaching a minute to play, Syracuse can feel it.
Yeah, been the rebounds. You know, the story of the game today again, Syracuse with 12 offensive rebounds, and BC doing a good job. You minus a couple of turnovers here and there, and some little mistakes. I mean, I think BC's margin for error, and cleaned up, I should say, the margin for error, because I feel like today was a better played game. Coming off a Clemson game where they went 0 for 11, 21 turnovers. Did a much better job today, the Eagles did, responding.
72-63. Coach Jack's team on the verge, improving to 18-4, 8-3. And a timeout called by Boston College. We'll step aside as well. The lead at 10, 52 seconds remaining. Ten-point game. Out of the timeout. Boston College needs some buckets.
Yeah, you'll switch on the 3 right now if you're Syracuse.
Ripped away by Latham. And a 7-second differential between the clocks. Boston College not appearing to want to foul here. And finally, again, a Todd bumps Dyaisha Fair. She's got 36 points. She'll have a chance for 37 and 38 at the line. And BC made it a game in that second quarter. Been back and forth since until this fourth period.
Yeah, I mean, when it was time for Dyaisha Fair to take over, this is when the game changed. And you really saw the skill level that she has and why Jeff Walz considers her one of the best guards in the country. And now she's able to perform night after night. I mean, the doubts were there, right? Okay, you're 5'5", you're a Buffalo, it's the MAC. Like, what are you going to do at the ACC? She said, okay. Woman, a few words, a few facial expressions. She just lets her game speak for herself.
BC calls a timeout. Pittsburgh, Notre Dame coming up as soon as we're done here in Chestnut Hill. And Hildreth and Kelly Gramlich on the call for that one. Notre Dame featuring one of the top players, one of the best freshmen in America, Anna Hidalgo. You want to stay around for that show. Notre Dame team, you mentioned it earlier, Syracuse has beaten them twice this year. That just gives you a little insight in what the Orange are capable of.
Yeah, well, they were able to outdo them on the glass, the offensive rebounds, and that led to second chance points. And what's impressive is there was one game with Sonia Citron in and one game without her. And the Q's still able to get the win. That's a hard day's work for Dyaisha Fair.
Scoring has increased in every single quarter. ACC, best conference in America this year, and you look at 6 teams ranked in the top 25. Pac-12's right there knocking on that door as well as BC turns it over. But well, NC State's got a chance to be a 1 seed. Notre Dame is only going to get better as we get deeper into this season. And there's Virginia Tech, who I don't want to say we've forgotten about because we haven't. It was Kitley,
The way
Georgia
they played the
Abor.
other day, it showed me why they got to the Final Four last year. I mean, it was vintage Virginia Tech. You got Louisville, you got Notre Dame. I mean, this conference is stacked.
75-63 our final score. As Syracuse improves to 8-3 in the league, 18-4 overall. And the 2-game skid